Hi, Shadrach. Can you hear me? I cannot, since your network is not stable, because there's fluctuation in your voice. Can we all hear Shadrach?
No, I can't hear him. I guess his network is bad.
Okay, Olani, can you go next? Olani, are you ready now?
I guess he has spoken. I called him first.
Okay. Olani has spoken. Oh, there was somebody that dropped the chat. What's that?
Yeah, I spoke earlier.
Oh, you were Shadrach. Okay. Thank you, Olani. So I guess Shadrach network is bad. I think that's that about the introduction. So Olani, I don't know if you were here yesterday. Can you let us know what you learned from yesterday's session and what you are doing to implement? Olani, did you get my question? Share with us what you learned from yesterday's session and also what you're doing in line of implementation. Yazi, did you get my question? Can you respond to that?
Yeah, I got your question, and I guess I added something in line with that while I was answering the first question.
Oh,
That
that's
was
true.
when
That's true.
that was when I
Yes,
said
yes.
I had to go through the scholarship portal to check if it's
Yeah,
still
MTN
available.
Foundation. Okay, yes, I get you. Yes.
To consolidate
Yeah,
that
thank
too,
you.
I as well shared an opportunity yesterday on the same WhatsApp group. That's to
Yes,
tell you I
yes,
have been doing some groundwork.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much. And I'm glad that you are working towards I mean, you're taking steps in the right direction. Yeah, thank you. Victor, can you unmute your mic and tell us what you learned from yesterday's session and what you're doing to implement what was learned? Hi, Victor, can you hear me? Can Victor hear me? Ah. Interesting.
He just joined. He's trying to balance up. I think somebody else has joined. You can ask him. Toby is around.
I can't see Toby's mic, so I'm not sure that his network is stable. Toby, can you hear me? Toby, can you hear me? If you can hear me, kindly unmute and respond. In the meantime, Olani, please share with us what you learned from yesterday's session. Olani, Shadrach, can you unmute and tell us what you learned from yesterday's session? Please respond, though. I beg you, respond so that we can move on. We don't have a lot of time to throw around, please. Victor, Olani, Shadrach, and Oluwatobi, please kindly respond.
Struggling to join. I'm sorry, struggling to connect his audio. I guess he's not familiar with Zoom. So I'm speaking with Toby. Shadrach and Victor, please, if you can hear us, kindly unmute your mic and speak. We don't have the time. We just want to get feedback from you guys. If you have not done anything, tell us. I know Shadrach wasn't around yesterday, but you can still share with us what you've learned so far. Thank you.
So So Shadrach, it's not necessarily what you learned yesterday since you were not around. You can share with us what you have learned so far. Please unmute your mic and talk. Oluwatobi, can you hear me? Wow. So I think their network is not stable or they are not willing to respond. So I guess we are done with the options and class reviews session. Maybe over to you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Grace. Just a little, some minutes, I'm coming. Yazid, I heard you saying that you checked the MTN Foundation scholarship and it seems it's currently not. Okay, I'll confirm that and get back to you. You know, it's possible because they just selected some, I think they selected the new scholars, I think last 2 months. But I was so surprised when I saw it somewhere that it's out, but I'll confirm, I'm not sure. So I'll get back to you immediately after the call. I'll do my research and let you know. So, but you can just keep tabs on them. Peradventure is not out yet. So so far we have learned about positioning. We have very few numbers of people here. I don't know if I can start now. Grace, please can you help to follow up on them and ask them what is wrong? Toby, if you can hear me, can you unmute your mic and speak?
Somebody already sent me a message saying that they won't be available for today. So I'll reach out to the other people.
Okay. Who is that?
I would have to check their name. I'm not sure.
Okay. It's all right, no problem. Oluwatobi, please unmute your mic.
The person has star as their ID. I don't know the name of the person.
All right, good afternoon, Ma. I can hear. I'm very sorry for joining in late. I've been quite very busy, Ma.
It's all right. Welcome to today's class. Welcome to today's class. Yes. I want to crave everybody's indulgence to listen attentively. Yeah, but I don't know if I want to start right away. Let's just wait for 1 or 2 persons to join, then we'll kick off. So Grace, we'll be waiting for you also. Reach out to others and let's. Okay, is it the same? We should start because of time. Okay. Okay, yes, let's give them like 3 minutes more. We start exactly for 2:45. We'll start exactly 2:45. Let's give them 3 minutes more. Okay, it's already 2:45 now, and we still have the same set of people. No one has joined here. I'm going to still try and reach out to others. Victor too. We lost Victor, Joel, and Toby. Just check out from them what's going on. I don't know, maybe it's a general Glow network. I don't know actually. And Joel is also saying that network is very poor at his end. Anyway, thanks to God that the video recording will be available. So let's also be hope that they will join for the end of the class. So yesterday we talked about undergraduate and graduate scholarship, and then I gave some, I shared some opportunities with us, and then also their requirements. We see that some of these scholarships requirements differs. Like one scholarship would be asking for your transcripts, while the other, while some could be asking for reference later, and some could even be asking you to write some essays. So some of them could just want you to write a statement of purpose essays, while others want you to write like an impact statement essay. An impact statement essay is just like you talking about what you will use the funds for, the funds they're giving you for, how will it be useful to you? Those ones, at times they separate it from your statement, from the statement of purpose. So for today, we'll be looking at statement of purpose. How do we write statements of purpose? So let me share my slide. Can you see my slides? Can you see my slide? Can you see my screen? Hello?
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Same here.
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Okay, thank you. Coming, I want to start my video. Okay, so that I can see you guys. Okay, that's fine. So some of the requirements, we talk about requirements for scholarship applications. So one of the application is writing your statement of purpose. A lot of people get it wrong in this aspect, and then it is a very, very important part of application. So this is just like this is like a representation of who you are. If you fluff, that is just the end of the application. So you have to put in your best, when writing this application. At times it could take you about a week or 2 weeks before you decide to upload. So it's just telling you that you have to take your time and write. And then at a point where you feel that I think I'm not satisfied with what I've written, give it some time, take a break. Don't, should I take a break for about 2-3 days? Don't even look at it at all. Then the following day, you can just, when you're much refreshed, you can look at it again. Then you'll be surprised to be seeing some other things you should add, some other things you should remove. So statement of purpose is very, very important. And then let me also say that the statement of purpose is just a little bit different from cover letter, and it's a little bit different from personal statement. They are almost the same thing, and the way you write them are almost the same way. So if you know how to write your statement of purpose, forget me, you can write a very amazing cover letter. If you know how to write your statement of purpose very well, you can write an amazing personal statement. In fact, some people say statement of purpose is the same thing as personal statement. From what I researched, says sometimes it's referred to as personal statements. Some people call it letter of intent. Some other people also call it motivation letter or motivational statement. So however the English it is called, just know that it is the same thing. You understand? And you use the same modalities in writing it. When you're writing a cover letter, if you have applied for a job before, you know that you have to introduce yourself, right? You have to also talk about your educational, what you have been able to achieve, and why you're interested in the position. You know, that's just how cover letter is. And then that's actually the same with the statement of purpose. But statement of purpose, in line with grad school application, you have to tailor it in such a way that it's going to reflect your career goals in details, what you have achieved for yourself in line with what you're applying for. You know, it's very important. And the personal statement, what makes personal statement a little bit different is because personal statement is encouraged that you talk about your background, let me say family background, like that would speak a little bit about you, right? So, I mean, a little bit about you, a little bit about your family background, like it is your challenges, personal statement. That's how personal statement is. So I'm going to be sharing a statement of purpose with you and a personal statement with you, my own personal statement I will be sharing with you. So yeah, so statement of purpose is a critical piece of a grad school application that tells admission committees who you are, what your academic and professional interests are, and how you add value to the graduate program you're applying to. For those that were around yesterday, I also mentioned a little bit about statement of purpose. I said it's like you talk about your academic and professional interests, and you also talk about the value you'll be adding to the graduate program. So that's what statement of purpose is about. An associate director, Jared Pierce, mentioned that says that from Northeastern University, says a strong statement of purpose can be the deciding factor in a graduate student admission. Funny enough, there have been, should I say, records of people that have 2-2, not even so much a good grade, but because they were able to write well and write a very good statement of purpose, write a very good statement of purpose, they were selected for that scholarship and opportunity. It's not really, you have to learn how to express yourself and express yourself explicitly and communicate. You have to communicate. It's not about, okay, I am this, I have a first class. Yes, you have all of this, but you are not able to communicate that. You are not able to communicate well when you are writing. It could really push you aside. It could really hinder you from being selected. So that's why you see some first class struggling to apply for application, but they have not gotten it. Not because of they are not good, just because if not understand, they don't write a very good essay, and they have not understand that it is very important. It is not all about the grade, right? So please note that. So, and it requires your time. You have to take your time. You have to be in the right mindset. I was speaking with an undergraduate student about how to write thesis. I don't have those kind of opportunity when I was an undergraduate because I was just doing what, let me say, I just got a template and I follow suit, do copy and paste, and that was it. But when I spoke with her, she had an eye opener. Like her mind was broadening, and she was really happy that at least she knows these things. She knows these things as in even at this stage and this point of her life. So it is not about what you know, it is about how. It is not about what, it's about the how, right? You are told to write a statement of purpose, then you just carry your pen and paper, you write something and you put it out there. Sorry, it will bounce back. So you have to take your time. You have to be detailed enough. You have to process yourself. First of all, I think the first thing when you want to write a statement of purpose is you, number one, understand, okay, this is what I do and I'm going to share. This is just a practical experience I'm sharing with you. It is not Google. What I've been reading is something I've searched online. Of course, I agree with what I read, and that's what I'm sharing with you. So what I do when I want to write a statement of purpose is I understand the objectives of those scholarships. Some scholarships could be majorly sponsoring women, whereas some scholarship could be sponsoring maybe less privileged students, whereas some scholarship their focus is on, should I say, they sponsor people that have leadership experiences. They are kind of their objective is regarding leadership. Some are their objective is regarding social work, volunteering services. So I first of all study the organization. I study them, I do a little bit of research. From there, you'll be able to get instinct and insight on how best to write your statement, because you are speaking to their hearts, because that's the main thing. You are finding ways to speak to their hearts. So when I do that, I then I read the instructions, I digest them, because it's very important. I digest them. Then I take a break and I'm thinking, okay, what are the skills I have, that these people are asking? I just begin to think, okay, if they're asking for probably leadership skills experience, okay, fine. Then if anybody could say that he or she has leadership skill experience, but how can you prove it? So you have to think and look at how you can prove it. Okay, you begin to remember where you have one way or the other lead, right? One way you've been in a leadership position, right? You're thinking, and as you're thinking, you are remembering and you're jotting things down. So you first of all have a pen and a paper, and you're drafting some things out. You've not even started writing at all. It's not just about you get your pen and paper, you want to try and start writing. No, it's a process. You have to think, right? So you then begin to think, okay, these people, they're asking for this, and right, they're asking for that. I'm just trying to brood, right? I'm brooding. A lot of you may think you don't have the enough skills, but you may be finding that at the time you sit back and brood, you'll be able to write some points. You'll be able to write some points that you're able to list out some points that you can actually show and can actually earn you, earn you rewards of being selected for a position and all of that. So as I am like this, I can apply for a job that is not even in line with my, fisheries. What do? I can just sit down and think of the skills I have, whatever position I want to apply to. I think of it and pen them down and look for how to construct my statements, my sentence, or that will be convincing enough for me to be called, for me to be selected. So the truth is that everybody's going to be served love letter. So everything doesn't come out where I've received a lot of love letters. So in a month I can receive 10 and I don't stop applying. That's just it. We all learn and keep going. So that's just by the way. So what I'm saying is that you have to take your time when writing statement of purpose. You brood over it, think, list out those things they're asking for. Do you have it? If you don't have it, what is close to it? Like, just think, list them down. When you are done, write a draft of what, okay, I'm going to go through the steps of writing them statement of purpose. So the statement of purpose is where you tell your story about who you are and why you decide to be part of the university community, because university don't just want to take any other person, they want the best. So you have to be able to convince them, and you have to tell them why you want, if you are even choosing their country, and why you're choosing the university. So it gives the admission committee the chance to get to know you and understand how you add value to the classroom, it says. So I'm going to go through a particular document. I'm going to stop sharing this because I have some few documents and examples I want to share with you. So this is more of practical than just telling stories. So I'm going to show you some of the machine. Okay, I think I want to close the document again. Let me share this. So this actually is from Harvard. So I thought they are explaining how to write a graduate school application essay. So let's start from this. Personal statements should be a story describing your personality, right? Your motivation, experience, come all together to make you a great candidate for the program. I'm going to end it here. Let me go to this one. Say, as with personal space, that's regarding statement of purpose. For this type of essay, you will be prompted to answer certain questions or to comment on particular topic. However, instead of telling a story about how you arrive at this point, you will primarily discuss of what your academic interests are now and what your future plan do in the future. So can you really, do you now, like this is an emphasis to what I've already explained. So personal statements is like more of talking about yourself, right? Statement of purpose, you're talking about your careers and future goals. So before writing, you read the question. I think I've already talked about that. Reflect on your overall goal. Keep in mind always that your overall goal is to explain how you're a great match for the department. I think I've emphasized this a lot. So you brainstorm. I've also talked about that. You freely write out your thoughts and ideas. And I think I've showed that within the context of the questions and your overall goal, make a list of your interests, personal passions, past experiences. Make a list, right? Hardship, successes. To give yourself some writing options, some questions to ask yourself, what is distinct, special, impressive about me and my life story? Have I overcome any particular hardship or obstacles? I think I've said this a lot of times, So you have to talk about how you've been able to overcome some challenges. Like this is just you telling your reviewers about yourself, right? So when did I become interested in this field and what have I learned about it since? What are my career goals, my personal states, values, skill sets do I have that make me stand out from other applicants? How do I show my fit with this program? How do I show my fit with this program? So I'll go through this path again. What is distinct, special, impressive about me and my life story? What is that thing? So the truth is, if you don't brood, if you don't take time to think, you might not know. One of the strategies I've used so much is the fact that I'm going to just say one statement that I used to put in my personal statement. I said, growing up in a family of 6, with low financial aid, I have been able to do this. Like it is above me. Despite those struggles, I was able to do this. Like I've been able to do this. I graduated with this, right? It is blackmailing when you are saying that, my family are not well to do. That's why I had a second class lower. Like it is very blackmailing. So they don't even want to hear that. In fact, you're shooting yourself on the foot. So despite those struggles and challenges, right? How have you been able to scale yourself to the points you are right now? You have to tell your life story. I don't know what your life story is, So you have to think, right? And put it there. So have I overcome any particular hardship or obstacles? Probably when you were in school, you have to engage in you have to do some side jobs. I don't know. And maybe when you were in school, you have to do you have to shuffle between schooling and working. Whatever you've been able to achieve, what is that thing? Were you sick, seriously sick? What is that hardship? Don't forget that we are speaking to their emotions. That's just the thing. You are speaking like you're marketing yourself. And that's what a marketer does. A marketer speaks to your emotion. And a marketer speaks to your emotion so that you won't even think before you take money from your pocket and pay for that thing. And there's sometimes we buy some things and we wonder, why do we buy them? Has it ever happened to you before? Somebody will come and advertise something to you, and the person, you feel you need that thing, but literally you don't need it. But because of the way the person has been able to advertise his or herself, you brought out your money and you bought the item, and you get them and why did I buy it? Please, if that happened to you, just put it in the chat. But yes, that happened to me. It happens, right? Because the purpose of you writing this personal thing, you are speaking to their emotion. You have to be able to share yourself. You have to be able to sell yourself, rather. You have to be able to sell yourself. And then I can't actually see the chat. Let me see. Okay, I'm not getting a response. Has it happened to you? Type yes. Yes. I want to respond if I continue. I'm waiting to see a response. I'll be no one is following me. Okay, Yazid say yes. I'm following. Victor say yes. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for that. So like I was saying, you have to be able to market yourself. You tell yourself how you've been able to achieve your how you've been able to achieve those successes despite your hardship. So when did I become interested in this field? Please, I hope you can hear me clearly and I'm not too fast.
Yes, you're good.
Okay, thank
Can
you.
hear you. Can hear you.
Thank you very much. So when did I become interested in this field and what have I learned about it since? Okay, for me, fishery science, I was given the course, right, in FUNAB and then Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta. That's where I finished from my undergraduate. And then it's not like I really wanted to study fishery, but I fell in love with it along the line. But I'm not going to start my story like that. So you're going to start it in a very interesting way. When did I become interested in this field? Like, you have to like talk about, yes, at the point I fell in love with it, because that's the truth. When did you fall in love with it? You have to also you have to tell that story. What are my career goals? What are my career goals? What do I want in life? What are my career goals? You have to be able to identify that. So let me say that, you know, when we are talking about purpose is like, have you defined your essence, the reason why you're in life, like the purpose of your existence. So right now, when I now say statement of purpose, it is in line with academic though, right? It's in line with academia. So in this case, you have to like talk about your should I even say career purpose in life? That is what it's all about anyway. So what are your personal traits, values, and skill sets? Personal traits, yes, I am detailed oriented. I am disciplined. I am analytical. I have critical thinking skills. You know, you have to be able to highlight those things. You know, those little things gives you an edge, because these are what defines you. If you don't know, I have a good communication skills. I can speak fluently and write clearly, like in English language. You know, you have to identify the skills. If you can speak another language, please put it there. I can speak French. How did you learn the French? And if I'm a 300 level, you're writing a statement of purpose and you can speak like 4 or 5 languages, I mean, it gives you an edge. It makes you stand out from the rest. How were you able to do all of that, even at this level that you have? That's why I was telling you guys to register for some online courses, get certifications. It doesn't matter the level in which you are, 100, level 200, please get certification. It's going to pay off later. You know, these are things that make you stand out from the other. So after you're done brainstorming and putting your ideas together, you create an outline. Create an outline for your essay with a concrete thesis and example to support it. This is just grammar. I'm going to explain in details about that. Know your audience. I think I've already talked about that. Consider what you know about the program that you're applying for. I think I already mentioned it, that you do a research about that scholarship body. Do research, know their objectives. And if it's a particular program, please know that program too about it very well. There are some schools in the US that they support, what do they call it? They call it, they support female students and they support, I've forgotten the name. So when you see that kind of application, you know how to direct your writings. So what are you looking for with the faculty be reading this? You have to also know the kind of people reading your, although not in all cases, but then at least you should, it's good, some of them you might not get to know those people that will be reviewing, right? Whereas, especially if you're applying to a school, you will know that, yeah, this is the person reading my statement of purpose. You should know the administrators, others. Use the correct tone and vocabulary for your audience. It's very important. So now let's come to writing your essay. like I said, this is a practical class. It is not much of story. So you have to do more of the work. I'm just going to this just to, let me say, just to open your mind, right? And then begin to understand what it means in writing statement of purpose and begin to act. So I'm going to share several examples anyway. Yeah, I'm going to share several examples with you of those that have written statement of purpose, and then you can adopt any of them. When I say adopt, whatever interests you, I will also post it on the group page. Whatever interests you, you can decide, okay, I think I like this statement of purpose. Let me just, adopting doesn't mean you copy and paste. No, please avoid it. Avoid copying and paste. It will shoot you. You're shooting yourself when you're like, if you copy and paste. Because if you get information online, a lot of people access online. So it doesn't make your essay unique at all if you're copying what you see. So the first paragraph, that is why you really need to understand the concept, because if you understand, you're able to write it in your own way. So the first paragraph, you introduce yourself, right? I am so and so. Identify yourself and tell us the purpose why you're applying for and tell us what you're applying for, right? And the purpose why you're writing the statement. So use this introduction to identify yourself, right? MD from so and so at Harvard since blah, blah, blah. Providing your reader with your overall big picture. You may want to start your essay with something you believe will immediately pique the reader's interest. So such as a critical experience that moved you to study public health or a particular health concern of importance to you. No matter how you arrange this paragraph, by the end, it should be clear what your long-term career goal is and how admittance. Anyway, this is English. This is how I write mine. You write you introduce yourself, tell us introduce yourself, a background, your academic background, right? That's what I do, academic background, and just chip like a sentence of your, should I say, a sentence about you, a sentence that speaks a little bit about you, right? I'm going to share examples so that you understand what I'm saying. Then the second paragraph, most times always like 3 paragraphs, 3 or 4 maximum. Okay, so the second paragraph, you now talk about your academic experience, certification, skills, whatever it is, award, just detailed, should I say, detailed career and detailed experiences, academic experiences and skills, just in detail for the second paragraph, right? Then the third paragraph, you now talk about the program, why it interests you, and how your skills how your skills fit into that program. Why the last paragraph should just be conclusion. Anyway, you can combine the third and last paragraph together, because when you've already explained why your skills fits in for that program, then you just say that, okay, I would appreciate this, or you also talk a little bit about the university. This is the reason why I'm applying for the university, and you end it like that. So it can either be 3 or 4, however you want to write it. So these people, Harvard, from Harvard is saying that your middle graduate, the next several paragraphs should support your decision to pursue this long-term career goal by describing the experience and learnings that made you understand the importance of the public health. The next several paragraphs should support your decision to pursue these long-term career goals by describing the experiences and learnings that made you understand the importance of public health. Perspective and forge your long-term career goals. So I think what they are saying is that you have to highlight you have to talk about your long-term career goals and how the experiences, that is what you are going to learn, from the program, how it's going to add value to your long-term career goal. So if this is a personal statement, if it is a personal statement, you may want to reach back into history to explain how you arrive at where you are now before moving on to detailing your future goals. Link these paragraphs together to tell the story of how you learned and realized your goals, writing in a chronological order from past to the present. End story, end strong rather. End your essay with a conclusion that refers back to the intro and restate your, like everything has to be in line. So that's to be connected. That is why, that's why I mentioned yesterday, it has to be systematic. So it has to flow, right? If your essay is not flowing, even if you write a big grammar and you're moving from A to Z, Z to F, it will interest the reviewers. It's like a turn off. It has to flow. Please note. So write well, revise what you have read and proofread. Like I said, it could take you about 2 weeks. The first thing you wrote, draft, then write, review. Then when you are convinced and you are okay, you can then what? Apply. So those are the steps. So let's look at some examples. Like I said, this is more of a practical class, and I'm going to put you guys in a group to talk a little bit about this. I hope I can do that on Zoom. I'm coming. Oops, a minute. I'm coming, please. Okay, let me just say this before I begin to share example. Let me just say this. There are some things you should be aware, when that can serve as a red pointer when you're writing. So first of all, you don't have to lie when you're writing SOP. Don't say that you have this and you don't have it. Please don't, because some of these people, they track you and you'll be surprised. Since your name is on the application, they can check your social media handles, just to verify some things. And if they don't find something interesting, they will just put you one side or just turn off. So you have to be transparent in your SOP. Let anyone who reads your essay see who you really are. They have to see who you really are, so that even if they eventually meet you, because even after applying, you'll be interviewed. And it's not everybody that is interviewed that gets selected eventually. So the reason for that interview, they also want to see, they want to meet you, and they want to check. So you have to be consistent. If they find some inconsistencies, forget it. So even in the interview, they will still want you to talk about yourself. They want to hear you speak. They want to, they'll still tell you to talk about yourself. And some of the things you said you have achieved, they will ask questions about it. That's the truth. So be transparent in your SOP. Let anyone who reads your essay see who you really are. Don't be a boring robot. Okay, what I'm just saying is that ensure that your statement of purpose is interesting. Like somebody, as the reader is reading, is following, it's interesting. Don't make you don't be boring. Don't be all about grades. Yeah, more than that. That is why applicants with 2-2 write passionately and get fully funded scholarship. I've heard a lot of stories regarding that. Applicants with 2-2 will write a very good statement of purpose and they'll be selected, and you with a 2-1 or say with a first class, you're not selected. So it's not all about grades. Don't come and programmer, you have this, you have that. No, it has to be interesting, that's very exciting. There have to be applicant with 2-2 and has leadership skills experience, that has volunteering skills experience, and has certification, and is able to express it to herself. Forget it, they would select that person first. So focus on your passion and impact Don't lie in your essay, please. Instead, build on what you've done. You know, if you're able to brainstorm and you're able to brood, and you're able to point out and list out some things that you've been able to do yourself, you can now develop it. So those are some of the things you can do. So let me share an example now. Okay, I'm coming. I'm still looking for the documents. Just hold on. So I think I used to have one. Okay, I got one, and then I want to see if I'll see another one so that I just share it all together. Okay. Hold on, I'm coming. Please. No. Okay. Okay, I found it. I thought I opened this thing. Okay, this is it. So this is an example of a graduate school essay. I'm also going to share I just wanted you to see this first. So this is from a working poor to elite scholar. So this actually gotten from one university, one of the applications sent to them, and there are comments under the essay, right? Because they felt it's a very good one, and they thought to share with people to learn from. So can somebody volunteer to read for us? I want us to read, because if I share and say you guys should read, I know some people could be lazy about it. So someone should volunteer and read for us. Very fast. Someone, please.
Okay, what part is that? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. Oh, Shadrach. Oh, Yazid or Shadrach. Anyone can unmute and speak, please.
Okay, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, can hear you.
Okay, so one of the proudest accomplishments of my life was earning my college degree, despite the fact that my early adulthood pointed in the opposite direction, beginning with my marriage at the age of 19. Throughout the 1990s, I lived as one of the working poor, someone who slipped through the cracks of supposedly historic prosperity. By the age of 25, I was divorced and frustrated with many a low-paying job, clerk, receptionist, and house cleaner. There's nothing like scrubbing someone else's toilet to inspire one with determination towards obtaining an education. Because of my absolute commitment towards earning my degree, I got a flexible shift at a retail warehouse, which enabled me to acquire my degree while supporting myself financially. Enrolled at the local community college, I experienced a different world opening up to me. Excited by a new encouraging environment, I excelled academically. I learned that if I tried hard, I could succeed. If I wanted something badly enough, I possessed the ability to take advantage of these opportunities. I worked a minimum 35 hours work week for 5 years to put myself through school without succumbing to the temptation of a student loan. I paid tuition upfront with the money I earned. I was the example of my mother, a Puerto Rican immigrant working diligently to provide for her family, who instilled a work ethic into me that has stood me in good stead. With a lifelong passion for history, I have developed an interest in the cultural history of early modern and modern Europeans, especially women's history. The experience of ordinary women fascinates me. How they constitute their world through popular folk trade, through popular folk trade, tales, and literature. how the seemingly irritation paradoxes of the past to modern eyes are completely rational when taken within the historical context. And finally, how these historical changes and transformations in culture constitute the present. I enjoy studying the early modern period of English history, especially the Tudor start period, because of the tension that existed between medieval philosophies and the rising Enlightenment intellectualism. My influences have been diverse. I read the popular historian Barbara Tuchman, not for her technical accuracy, but for her beautiful prose. Please, can you scroll up and make it broad a little bit? I can't see. Okay, okay, thank you. Natalie, okay, yeah, Natalie Simon Davis' research inspires me in the way that she cleverly picks out fresh life from tired sources. And finally, Michael Foucault's philosophies have profoundly influenced the way I write. For now, I have a philosophical grounding that makes me highly sensitive to my own biases. In fact, Foucault's post-structuralism, Foucault's post-structuralist metrics has been in my shaping uh, has been instrumental in shaping my current project focus on the 17th century midwife Elizabeth Seller. In this project, I am re-examining the current histories of English midwifery using Seller as a case study, detecting a decided bias embedded within them. The underlying assumption of these histories in that pre-industrial professional women and Seller in particular struggled against patriarchy and oppression from the male medical community. No, you pass where I am.
I'm there.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. When in fact, Seller's literature shows that she utilized the accepted discourses of patriarchy again available to her in her writing and turned them into useful tools of political and religious power. As a student, I feel that my success lies in the fact that I approach my studies as if I were a professional historian, not student. That is, I always enrolled in the most challenging courses and worked with professors I felt were the most qualified in my area of interest. Never did I settle for an A minus or B plus. If I got one, I would ask what I could do to improve, and ultimately, I utilized the advice to strengthen my work. My personal academic milestone occurred while I was completing a research seminar on historical methods. This required course was taught by an Americanist, Dr. Julie Watt, director of the history department. So our research topics were limited to American sources. I was able to work within my main interest, which is marginalized women, while using the primary source of the New York Times. The resulting paper, Biological Unsound, Women, Murder, and the Insanity Play in the Progressive Era, examined the preponderant use of the insanity play for women who went outside their innate nature and murdered, regardless of the circumstances which drove them to kill. Although the topic was outside my focus, which is European history, this paper was selected for publication in the Phi Alpha Delta Journal, the Historian. My focus as an undergraduate has always been with an eye towards graduate school and a career as a professional historian. Aware of the rigors of graduate study, I have not only I'm lost.
Yeah, lost.
You changed the
The
document.
screen.
Yeah,
Is this it?
yeah, this is
Okay. Sorry.
okay. So
I was also opening another document for us to
okay,
share. Yeah, go
okay.
ahead.
My focus as an undergraduate has always been with an eye towards graduate school and a career as a professional historian. Aware of the rigors of graduate study, I have not only completed an undergraduate language requirement in Spanish, but I am also currently enrolled in an accelerator French course. In addition, I have become active in the Historical Honor Society. Phi Alpha Theta including serving as chapter president. During my tenure, our chapter hosted the Phi Alpha Theta Regional Conference, the largest regional conference in the nation. With the help of faculty advisor Dr. Judith Gaillard, I created the conference sessions, chose appropriate student commentators for those sessions, and gave a keynote speech. The experience taught me that I have a flair for organization as well as mediation or mediation. Under my leadership, our chapter also published its first journal and hosted a variety of campus activities. This year, I am working with the Computer Society in order to establish a website for students who need help succeeding in history courses. We are going to call it the Clio homepage. My position as an authority figure both in classroom and work and within these various organizations has awakened a desire to embrace teaching. For I enjoy sharing the excitement of education with my peers, as well as helping them achieve their own academic success. I feel that my life experiences, as well as my commitment to education, would be an asset to Cornell's doctoral program in history. Wow. Cornell has an exciting interdisciplinary program that is exceptionally impressive. In particular, Dr. Rainer Wilhelms, especially in Tudor Start, social and cultural history complement my own interest in studying the experience of English pre-industrial women. This combination will provide a strong background I desire in order to shape my future research interest. I feel that Cornell is a premier institution for an inspiring PhD candidate as such a very competitive program. But I know I have the tools and the determination to excel in such a stimulating and challenging environment.
Thank you very much. This is a lot. Please don't feel overwhelmed. I'm still going to break it down for us. But before I begin to talk in details about it, let me also share some other documents. Okay, I thought I opened this. Okay, come. Let's open first. Downloads. No. Okay. 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 I just shared this document, but then I want us to read. Okay, why is it not? Oh, wow. So if I zoom, it can come down. Please, can you see my screen? And is it legible? Please, who can read for us? If you can see, kindly read. Nobody is reading. Hello? Yazid, please, can you help out?
Okay, it's still showing. Yeah, you've started sharing screen. Okay, letter of motivation. Let me start. Can you all hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. My long-term goals involves identifying the social determinant that predispose a pragmatic individual to dysfunctional behaviors, especially in the areas of health, and to arm them with tools that help them ward off the effect of these risky social influences. I'm motivated to pursue the one-year research fellowship under the Swiss Government Excellence Scholarship Scheme because it allows me to chase these aims in an international collaborative environment. Under the supervision of Prof. Peter Johannes Scholz at the Institute of Communication and Health at the University of della Svizzera Italiana, I will gain an intellectually enriching space to address and provide solutions to this question through the inspection of social influence from a more granular level. The force of social influence has been pervasive throughout our ancestral history. Our desire to feel a sense of belongingness and affiliate with
Can you
close
hold
group
on?
members.
Sorry. Can you hold on, Yazid?
Yeah, okay.
If you notice something, you would see that there is a little bit of difference from the previous SOP and this one. So in this
Yeah,
case, calling him a letter of motivation is the same thing. So this one thought to start by talking about his or her career goals, right? Long-term career goals.
yeah,
Then the following paragraph, he or she is talking about the program that she is applying to. She's telling a story, right? So this is something that you should also do, that you have to be versed, like you have to read, you have to have knowledge of whatever it is you're applying for, because that shows that, okay, you know what you're doing. So that way you're able to communicate better while you're applying for that opportunity. Go ahead.
yeah. And it is important to note that while you're applying for scholarship or fellowship, you need to thoroughly go through the application in such a way that you get more information about the people that will facilitate this session. Just like she was able to quote Prof. Peter Johans here. She haven't met him before, but maybe by going through the scholarship opening, she was able to know that he will be the one to facilitate this session. A very important thing to know.
Go ahead.
So, what was I? Okay. The force of social influence have been pervasive throughout our ancestral history. Our desire to feel a sense of belongingness and affiliate with close group members has conferred important advantage for our health and well-being from an evolutionary standpoint. While dependence on social group was an essential component of our survival during the primitive time, excessive reliance on group members today could prove to be lethal to our ability to make sound decisions. People of various age groups are found to succumb to the prevalence norm in their social cycle that prevent them from expressing their independent attitude. Consequently, many end up engaging in maladaptive behaviors in the temptation to be accepted and feel secure as a part of the in-groups. Behaviors germinating from such normative influences represent some of the major challenges facing humanity today at an individual as well as the community level. Examples of such challenge are alarming, increasing in unhealthy behaviors like smoking, drinking, bullying, and discrimination against minority, adoption of unsustainable ways of resource utilization. While extant literature on
Hello.
science have not been sufficient to eradicate this malady. Are you saying something?
Go ahead.
Okay. These maladies from the world. One reasonable solution to battle behavioral pattern would be to underscore the subtle and explicit motivational factors that predispose an average individual towards the trajectory of destructive behaviors. Although social influence has been, you're too zooming it, maybe because I had zoomed it from my own end. I'm okay. You don't have to.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Pattern. Okay, let me start from
Although.
God. The screen is still moving. Maybe. One reasonable solution to battle behavioral pattern eradicate these maladies from the world. One reasonable solution to battle behavioral patterns will be to underscore the subtle and explicit motivational factors that predispose an average individual towards a trajectory of destructive behavior. Although social influence have been cited as a significant explanatory factor behind the motivation to engage in perilous behaviors, the nuances, I can see. The nuanced level at which this influence operate have not been stratified adequately. This is mostly due to the lacuna in designing experiment that could model this subtle aspect of social influence, which act as giant drivers of our everyday behavior. That's the end of the page.
Okay, I'm sharing the second page. Okay, can continue now.
Okay. Health communication inclusion is generally performed by exposure to mild stressors like pro-smoking attitude from peers and teaching.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So this person is actually applying for a fellowship, right? It is not actually, what is it called? It's not actually for a master's or PhD program, or so he or she is actually applying for a fellowship. So she had to do a lot of research, and that's why she was able to come up with these stories. Please don't be bored, and I would like to even stop this year and share my own personal similar purpose for graduate scholarship. Yeah, this is just an example, that we can just a breakdown of what I've shared. Yeah. Can somebody else should please read? Victor, Olani, anybody? Esther, I've not heard your voice, so please unmute your mic and let's hear from you. You can read this. So this is one of my statement of purpose. No one is volunteering to read. Grace, please, can you unmute your mic and read? Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I don't know why they're not responding. Okay, Shadrach, you can just take up. You can go ahead and read.
Okay, can you just scroll up?
Okay, just my name. I said my purpose.
Okay, so growing up in a family of 6 with low financial status, I was determined to be the best version of myself. I graduated with a second-class honor from the Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, Ogun State, Nigeria, bagging a bachelor in aquaculture and fishery management in 2018. I have spent the past 7 years studying and conducting research in aquaculture and fishery science. I must admit that I am fascinated by new ideas and possibilities that abound in this field of study. My bachelor's thesis was on determining the toxicity effect of Euphorbia hitta leaf extract on histopathology of Clarias gorepinus or whatever. The finding of this study shows alteration of fish tissues even in lower concentration of Euphorbia hitta leaf extract. Since the completion of my undergraduate education, I have been active with many research, laboratory work, and government. During my undergraduate internship program, I acquired the experience of rearing fish, which spurred my interest more in aquaculture. Personally, I enjoy rearing fish in an enclosed area with application of treatment. I have great presentational skills and have presented in conferences both locally, Fisheries Society of Nigeria, and internationally, Society of Toxicology and Chemistry. I am open, willing to learn and work with innovative research ideas and adapt quickly to new environments. I possess excellent communication skills, both verbally and writing. Also, I enjoy working with team and independently. In addition, I have strong analytical and statistical skills with such as R, Minitab, and other quantitative tools. The proposed thesis research I wish to pursue in Cal Poly Humboldt is evaluating a Trojan wild strategy for eradicating of invasive Sacramento picamino. I desire to work with Professor Raphael. Professor Raphael Kivas, who write research interest in aquaculture, fish histology, and reproductive biology complement my own interest in conducting research in aquaculture, sex reversal, manipulation, and histology. My long-term career goal is to become a renowned professor who will extend the frontiers of scientific research and engage in transformative discoveries to solve specific problems in fisheries science. As I am aware of the expertise needed for the MS position in natural resources, my undergraduate research and the aforementioned experience which I have garnered has equipped me for this position. Therefore, I am confident that I possess the sufficient drive and relevant research experience to succeed in the intended MSc study at Cal Poly Humboldt. Thank you for your time and contribution. May we feel
Yeah, thank you very much. So there's a little bit of controversy regarding like this is much, so quite sweating. So there's a little bit of controversy. People would say a page similar purpose is enough. You don't have to write story. Like you just want it short, concise, and then you're able to go straight to the point and speak clearly. You don't have to speak so much grammar, right? So and then if you're looking at all those samples, big samples online, you'll be seeing big grammars and you'll be confused. You don't know where to start from, but it's as simple as getting this concept, like sitting back and thinking of how best you can write your own, like in your own words, right? So, and like I said, I've just been able to adopt some, should I say some points, like some points. I mean, a way one can systematically write statement of purpose. So firstly, what I did here was to introduce myself. Okay, I guess I'm going to go back to others to break it down too. So I introduced myself. I talk a little bit about myself. You know, I even started with growing up in a family of 6. So that is about me, right? So I talk about my background, my where I finished from, the faculty I finished from, right? And then I also like connect it with the second paragraph. You know, I ended the first paragraph. I must admit that I'm fascinated with new ideas, you know, that abound in this field of study. And I go straight in talking about my undergraduate thesis, that is my project topic, right? Talk a little bit also about my skills and the person and this application is actually an application to the school, and there is some things they are expecting you to mention in your application. So they want you to mention the name of the professor you are writing, that you love, that you want him. They want you to mention your prospective supervisor, right? For somebody that you would love to supervise you, and why. Okay, so and it has to reflect from your background and reflect from your project. So everything has to be in line, right? So I talk, because I've done a little research about the professor. I know he does research regarding aquaculture, histology, and those are my core areas too, right? So I mentioned that, and when I was done with all of that, I ended the conversation about talking about my long-term career goals and then why I'm fit for the position. So just to conclude the essay, some people could start with talking about their long-term career goals, right? And connect it. I used to have one. Let me share another one very quickly. Well, our time is fast spent, but then I just have to share this so that we understand what I'm talking. Okay, where is this? I used to have. I just want to quickly share here. Okay. So, is it? Was it not? I'm coming, please. Signed out. What happened? Hello. I hope I'm still here. You've been signed out. Hey, I don't understand what's going on.
No, you're still
yeah,
here if
yeah.
you can hear me.
Ah,
No, you are still here.
I'm still here. I don't know why I'm seeing this notification of signed out. Okay. I'm still here. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, I got it. Let me come back and share. Okay, can you see this? Well, I don't think you can see.
Yes, we can see you.
Not me.
I guess the notification you got was for the device you're using. Here now it's sharing. We can see it now.
Okay. So this actually this is actually a cover letter, and it's, like I said, cover letter can be written like a statement of purpose. So this person started. Wow, my battery is low. Wow, I need to wrap up with this session as I can. Sorry about that. I'm just being notified. So let me just break down this particular cover letter. So this person started from, my desire for doctoral studies stems from blah, 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 blah. A story about himself, right? In preparing for this, like there's a linkage in preparing for this. Okay, sorry, for this part. And for this part, said, as a student fascinated by ideas and possibility embedded in this, I have strong desire to put deep into fabrics of knowledge. In preparing for this, I have completed a bachelor degree in this, and this has helped me garner. Anyway, I just have to read first. During my final year as an undergraduate, I worked as this. So as a requirement, he has done his MSc because he's applying for a PhD. At this time when he was applying for this opportunity. So he talked about his experiences during his master's program and then what he has learned, his skills. So, and he talked about why he was applying for the doctoral degree, right? And at the end of the day, he wrapped it up. So what I just want to bring out here is the fact that there has to be a flow, there has to be a linkage to this, there has to be a linkage to each paragraph. You have to link it from one point to the other, like it has to make sense, it has to flow. So this is an assignment that I'm going to give you. I want you to have a conversation with your accountability partner. You guys should discuss, because like I said, it calls for you to brainstorm. So just share with each other, and then that way it brings you out of yourself. And you're able to pinpoint your strong points and to be able to like write for statement of purpose. So speak with your accountability partner, like just introduce each other. Okay, just ask each other questions. Okay, how do you think? Just talk about writing statement of purpose and how best, you can, how best you guys should go about it. Just discuss, have a discussion. Then we're supposed to have this year, but because of time, we weren't able to do that. And then okay, then begin your statement of purpose. I want you to submit before the end of next class, because I know it's a process, and I'm just going to ask about your progress by next week, how far you have gone, if you have written it or not. So I would like to call it a day here. I'm so sorry. Okay, I think I can still attend to one question. Any question before I call it a day? I can still attend to one question. Yes. Any question, please? Has it left? Okay. Any question, Shadrach, Esther, Deborah, Grace? Please unmute your mic. Let me hear. If there's no question, let me know. Esther, any question?
No, ma, no question. I actually came late, so I just felt when I read the message or watch it again, maybe then if I have question, I will go on your DM or ask you one-on-one.
Okay, Deborah, Grace, any question?
No question, ma.
Grace, any question? Shadrach, any question?
No question at all. No question.
Grace, any question? So I guess Grace is not here. So it means that you all understood what we have discussed. Is that what it means? Shadrach, you understood, right? You understand?
Yes, I understand. Yeah.
Fantastic. Esther, okay, you came late. Deborah, you understand what we've discussed, right?
Not really, ma, but I'll go through the records and I'll ask questions if I have one.
All right, that's fine then. So please go through the records. It could seem complicated, but it's not. Just take your time and then figure out something and begin to write. So you just have to start writing. If you don't start writing, it feels like, so that's the thing. So at this point, I would like to wish you a good evening, and then we'll meet in our class, in the next class next week. So please reach out to your accountability partner. Grace, if you can hear me, kindly mention this on the group that there is an assignment for that they should reach out to their accountability partner and discuss on how to write statement of purpose, and they should start writing.